what's up, guys? Alice with you here, bringing you Sword Art Online Season 3 anime review. This was episode 17, titled Truce. As y'all remember from last episode, Kirito and Alice got blown out from the rooftop. Not the rooftop, but from where they were fighting. The hole opened up and they fell off, and then the hole just refixed itself. So, since that's going on, we see the continuation of what happened in this episode. Basically, where they were falling, Kirito had basically stabbed his sword into one of the edges of the wall for a safety net to stay tight. And he also grabbed Alice so she won't continue to fall. And as you see in the thumbnail, you have this moment where she has this red face, she's blushing, but she's kind of angry too because Kirito kept on calling her an idiot over and over again. Because she's like, I don't want to be saved by someone like you. I'd rather be let fall to my death. And Kirito was like, you an idiot. You have a job to do and stuff like that. And she was like, how dare you speak to me like that? And he replies, I call you whatever I want to. And he just kept on calling her idiot, idiot, idiot over and again. And she got really upset. But at the same time, she kind of blushed because it was kind of true. She wants to die, but though she has a job to do. So as the episode entitled Truce, Kirito and her made a truce that until they get to the top floor, she won't slay him. But once they get up there, she's going to slay him. That's basically what they promised to each other. So for now, she's gonna help Kirito get to the top, only for her own benefit because she needs to get up there as well. But after they discuss all this and this arguing, Kirito doesn't very impressive. He used a system call and he brings out metal rods, and he basically stashes them to the wall. And then he climbs up them. And he just keeps doing this over and over again. Well, Alice, she was supposed to do the same thing as him. But the problem is, she didn't get to do it. It was weird how they explain it. But she ain't feel confident enough to do it, I guess you could say. Even though I think the real reason is because she had a skirt on. So basically what happened is, instead of them both climbing up, monkey swinging on the metal rods, Kirito had to go up 2 rods and then pull her up for the chain because they were both chained to each other. Here's in case if one falls, the other one can bring them up. Which that was also Kirito's idea. And Alice had to use a transformation system call on her glove to make that gold chain to connect them both. And as they going up, we see Yujiro as well in the inside sneaking around, going up quietly to make sure he's not getting caught by nobody. And where both groups are going upwards, we switch over to the rear with Asuna looking out the window of the boat, and she looks sad. And the doctor's with her, Riku, and the doctor Riku, she's eating some type of bread with butter, and she looks happy. But then when she looks at Asuna sad, she gets kind of worried, and she just brings up conversation, and she's like, "Are you okay? Are you feeling good?" And she was like, yeah, I'm just looking at that boat. What is that boat? And, Riku was like, yeah, that's a good point. And then we get introduced to the security. I forgot to write his name down, but I believe it's Kasharu Isaye. I'm probably butchering his name, because I'm not good at Japanese, so forgive me. But he comes up and he explains to them that boat is DD-119, and it's basically a battleship boat that is to dock people from one side to the other so they can get ingredients over to the ship. And then he mentioned something weird about its position and that it shouldn't be up here at this time. So he calls his superiors to see what's going on, and they didn't say anything to him. So supposedly that we know of, and he said, sorry girls, excuse me, I have to go. So Asuna and the doc is worried about that, so that's kind of weird. But then we get switched over again to Kirito and Alice doing more climbing. And Kirito, since he's using system call too much, and system call wastes your stamina, I believe it was, or magic, he basically got tired out and he couldn't make no more. So Alice had to make the last 2, using her system call. And when they were very close to getting to the top, not the top, all the way to the top they go, but to go a little bit more to their, the footstool of their gold. Because, each part of the tower has, little ledges where security cameras are at. When they were about to reach that ledge, Kirito realizes there's a really ugly statues there. And Alice gets freaked out by them. And before she gets to say anything, these statues come to life. And they kind of look like gargoyles, but their heads are like, how can I put it? Like, it stretches out, and they have like multiple teeth. They're looking like a suction cup with a whole bunch of eyes going down themselves. It's really weird. But one of them starts attacking Kirito and Alice, and he ends up taking one of the two rods that Alice made, and he stabs him with it. Then he flies off. Then the other statues that are up there, because there's more, they become real and they start attacking. And this is when things get kind of confusing for me, because Alice has been shown to be a prideful, strong knight and a strong character. But when these things start to attack, she kind of freaks out and panics, and she just holds onto the chain that's connecting her to Kirito, and she just like there with her eyes closed, like she's praying. And I'm like, you a knight, a strong knight at that. Like, you shouldn't be scared, especially to defend your tower / Citadel. But it was just weird that she was acting like that. But Kirito was able to slap some of them away to distract them. And then he came up with this really, I wouldn't say brilliant idea, but it was helpful. He basically apologized to Alice first, and she didn't get to answer, but she looked confused on why he was apologizing. And basically he took the chain that connected them both and he swung her all the way up and around. Luckily she landed on her feet okay, but she got upset that Kirito did this without asking. So she did it to Kirito, and when he went up and swung, he didn't land on his feet. He actually hit the wall and fell down. It was hilarious. Something that you really see commonly in anime tropes, even sometimes cartoon, but it was still funny, no matter how many times you see it. But now they're both on even footstools, because that part of the wall has like a walkway. So she took out two with no problem, and Kirito's kind of having trouble with his, and she gets kind of cocky and sarcastic, and she's like, oh, do you need help? And Kirito's like, oh no, I got this, and he ends up 3-slashing it with his technique style from, Citadel. And she gets very impressed, and then she says, oh wow, that's great, that kind of reminds me of the festival people. And Kirito was like, oh, thank you. Then he was like, wait, are you mocking me? And she was like, no, but she was blushing, so we don't know if she really was mocking him or not. But it was stated by her as well that she haven't seen the festival people do it, but she's seen monks that have done similar techniques like that. And we also found out that the knights are not allowed to talk to any of the people at all. They can only talk to civilians when they're in need of helping them, protecting them from the lawbreakers or whatever. But other than that, they're not allowed to have any interaction with people of the people that they're basically protecting, which is weird because usually, if you think about it in real life, knights are basically cops, and cops can talk to people. There's no law against that, so, or vice versa. So the fact that the knights are not allowed to talk to anybody, that tells you something kind of off right there. And she also realized that for these high-level creatures called minions that are from the dark territory, for them to be able to pass by the interrogator knights and their barriers and come all the way up here and just hide out, there's something about that that's fishy. And as she's talking to Kirito, we get the final ending scene with Yu-Gi-Oh! Going into this one floor, and he said, I sent somebody here, it has to be an interrogator knight. And the instant he opens the door, is this long stone pathway, but on the sides there's other squares inside them, and there's these gargoyles that you're spitting out hot water into those pools, and it looked like this is a sea bath. It's made of stone and concrete, and Yu-Gi-Oh's looking around, and it's kind of steamy, of course, because all the hot water that's coming out from all those different statues of gargoyles. And he sees somebody, sitting there just chilling, and he starts to draw his sword, and the guy gets up and tells him, hey kid, can we do this later? I just got back from a long ride of riding dragons, and my body's stiffed. And then he turns around and he smirks at Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was the end of the episode. Now, the preview for the next episode says that the next episode is called Legendary Night. And in the previews, and not the previews, but we got the title of the preview, Legendary Night. And if you look at the anime opening for this new opening that we got for the past like 3 episodes, if you notice, there's a scene where Yu-Gi-Oh is fighting somebody one-on-one, and it's this guy. So I guess this guy must be the legendary knight, since we see Yu-Gi-Oh fighting him in the opening and the title is called Legendary Knight. So maybe this guy is that knight, or maybe he's the traitor and the knight's going to appear to slay him, or slay Yu-Gi-Oh at the same time. Maybe it can go either or. I'm on anime only, so that's just my prediction. I'm not really sure, so don't quote me on that. But a good episode. It was more building up, the relationship between Alice and Kirito. I have a feeling by the time they get to the top floor, she probably won't feel the same way to slay him. She's probably gonna still want to arrest him because he's a criminal and she's a knight. That's her job. But I don't think she's gonna be all cooled out about trying to kill him. But it was a very interesting episode. It was actually more comedic than it was anything. Whereas at the same time, we also had that good fight scene with Yu-Gi-Oh and Alice fighting those things, the minions, which didn't last long, but it was still pretty interesting. Also to see that if you do use System Call a lot, you do get tired. And it does take up, I believe, magic or stamina, one of the two. So that was more good information for the world better going on. But yeah, episode 17 of Sword Art Online Season 3. Great episode. If you have not watched it, I advise you to watch it. If you watch it, go watch it again. Really interesting episode. Can't wait to see what Alice and Kirito is going to go through next. Even though most likely the next episode is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh based. Because Yu-Gi-Oh himself stated, it's been 2 years since I haven't, been by myself. Because I always had Kirito by my side. So now that I'm by myself, I'm going to have to learn how to do things by myself too. So, I believe next episode is probably going to be all about Yu-Gi-Oh! Most likely. And maybe 1 or 2 scenes with Alice and Kirito, but since the title is called Legendary Knight, it's most likely going to be about Yu-Gi-Oh! Fighting this guy. And this guy is most likely going to be that knight. But that's all I have for you guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with your family and friends. Don't forget to hit the notification bell for more to get notified whenever I post an upload. Tell me down below your thoughts on this episode. And for those who are light novel / manga readers with minimum spoilers if possible, tell me who that knight is, if that legendary knight, if that is that guy there, or whoever that guy is. Tell me, was there a reason why Alice was acting the way she was acting, or scared when she saw these creatures? Or was it just shocked that these creatures from the dark realm are over here? And tell me what's going on with that situation outside with the worships and Asuna and them. With minimum spoilers, of course. Not too much. But that's all I have for you guys. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.